Welcome, everybody, to the 344 show, where I have Melissa Houston, who is actually literally like a stone's throw away from me. I mean, I could, practically almost we could like reach out and touch. I could touch,
We'll just
why can't I get this right? I'm confused. Which side? There, that side.
It's hard to say. Both hands. Like, no offense.
Okay.
Much love, both friends.
Wave. So happy to have you here, Melissa. So thrilled that you took the leap to join me on the 344. And, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with introductions because I'm pretty sure that most of the folks who are with us today have an idea about what this show is about and what its intent is, why we're here, and what we want to try to cover. And so, yeah, I'm going to just kind of leave it to you because frankly, I am not seeing me going live on my own page. So I'm going to roll over to YouTube because, why wouldn't I do that to make sure that we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing, right? So just give me one quick sec here. Yes, YouTube is live, of course. Yeah, YouTube's live, but LinkedIn has decided that maybe it doesn't need to roll out to my page for some reason. So, yeah. So we're just gonna go. We're gonna go. All right. So, Melissa,
we're gonna go.
We're gonna go because we're live on YouTube, and that's where we happen to be.
Okay.
And that's a perfectly good place to go. And if anybody misses it, we'll just post it back on LinkedIn and celebrate.
They'll come watch, right?
Yeah, they'll come watch. All right.
Let's talk about it later.
Yes, we'll talk about it later. Yes. So maybe.
Why don't you get me started? Give me just a little direction because this glitter girl can go anywhere.
Indeed. Yes, it looks like Amber and Nathan have found us over on YouTube. So that's perfect. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to start out with where you are right now, which is taking basically you're running this background checking business, right? And you've got this coaching business and you've got these two things, and neither one is a side hustle. They're both main hustles.
The side hustle is the planners, right? We've talked about the coaching and the planners, but that's the side hustle.
So you're in triplicate. Yes. So lay it out. How did this happen? Like what is that story? I want to hear it.
Don't let me get bored is probably the best way to wrap it up, and we can just end the show. Don't let me get bored.
Perfect.
Reality is coaching, right? I love talking to people. I got in trouble for it in elementary school, so I always knew it was a gift. I had the gab. I found a way to put it to good use.
Okay.
But now I'm the managing director of Expert Background Solutions. We are a business that launched last year out of Oklahoma, and we do nationwide background checks for employers for pre-employment reasons. So you need to screen. Of course, I'm your girl.
Yes.
But my team has 50 years of experience right out of the gate. 50 years of screening experience.
Okay.
Experts.
That seems like a lot.
The title's not just cute. It's not just shiny. It matters. It means something. Yeah. So and we're part of the Professional Background Screening Association, which is kind of the mean guy who goes to battle at the legislative level to protect the consumer. Okay. People like you. And then also to tell us what to do. Hey, make sure you're taking care of that person if you're going to have their information. Protect them. Do right by them. Don't eliminate them forever. And what is the scope for that? So it's been a lot of fun. It's kind of interesting. I've always been a little nosy, going to be honest. So background screening coaching, I get to see every bit of the dirt. But it's really intriguing, and it really helps me feel better to know an employer is in a safer environment.
Yeah.
Right? Workplace violence, theft in the workplace, child-related incidences.
Right. So you're protecting employers from that kind of sort of the hidden stuff.
Yeah. And you'd be shocked at some of the stuff we found. I've had a 911 operator call me and say, "Excuse me, how dare you find a warrant in my name?" Oops. I did.
Well, it was there. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have.
Don't know how you got that job, but I'm glad we figured it out, right? It's great. We resolved it. We also found a gentleman serving in a university in the athletic department. Should have been on a registry. Wasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody found him but us, right? And so those are the kind of things where you're just like, haha, I got you. But also, once you've done your time, let's help you get back to work. And so I help a little bit with that too. teaching the employers how to get them back into the workplace and when it's okay.
Okay. Okay. Fascinating.
It's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. So, all right. So it sounds like you're like have a lot of experience with this. That experience then is your claim to legitimacy, that you really care about not only the employer, but sometimes an employee who, is trying to get back on their feet, right? And to a degree.
They're not always bad, right? It's once you've served your time, you should be able to go back and get a job. We all hear it all the time. They can get out of jail, go back to work. Great. Who's going to hire them?
Yeah.
When should they hire them? When is that recidivism rate something you can look at and go, okay, they haven't done it in a long time. When are they going to be risky again? Or when do they stop being risky? And so it's really good stuff to talk about. But then industries, hospitals, they have like a zero tolerance policy on certain crimes.
Right.
It's fair, right? Banks, they don't really like theft. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some of those that's like, hey, I'm sorry, Bob. That embezzlement charge is going to limit your ability to bank now.
Yeah.
Sorry. But let's talk about your other gifts. And so then I can move into the coaching role too. But it's a lot of fun. It's a balance, right? Like I'm keeping some away from work while I'm helping others go back to work.
Okay. Fascinating. All right. So let's talk about the business side of that. All right. Because the businesses ultimately hire you, right? Okay. Yeah. And so we were having I think it was in a DM or somewhere. I can't remember. Maybe it was comments or something. You were telling me about you were going to go out to the Midwest or something to try to pick up some new business. Did I get that right? Or
I love Oklahoma companies because that's where I've been working for a decade. So we live, eat, breathe Oklahoma records like nobody else. So yes, there's a soft spot, but I love all of the other states. I do.
Okay. All right. Now,
Valentine's Day. I love you all.
Yeah. All right. So now a hard question, right? Which is if we're, what's that famous, like the favorite thing to say on LinkedIn is if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one, right? So you hear this, right? And okay. So if we're going to pick one company or one like description of a company that would hire you, your business to do background checking for them, like who is that? Like when you think, oh, if only I had more of this type.
So the clients who, because I always talk about silly putty, was defined by the user, right? It wasn't supposed to be a toy. So for me, I do service 9 out of 10 employers. That's how many screen. It is almost everybody, but the ones I do really well with are the staffing companies. And the reason is I used to be a certified employment consultant. So I've run staffing firms. The staffing firm I was working for said, oh no, this piece of paper is trash. How do we know this is our person? And I was like, I don't know. And he paid me to learn. And I did. So that was a decade ago. That's how I started. So staffing.
So the soft spot in your heart is Oklahoma staffing firms.
If I had to pick, but I love them all.
Okay. Well, we're going to take that then to the bank, right? And so now so you're taking anybody who wants to come get their background check. You're the service, bam, get it done. Is it expensive? Is that something
It depends on the levels of searches you're doing. And there is no such thing as a basic background check. I'm going to say it again. There is no such thing as a basic background check. Scary. I'm an Arizona girl. First thing I learned in the industry is the Arizona statewide does not include Phoenix or any of that county that Phoenix resides in. I know, right? Like Birdhead. Every time I say it, everybody goes,
Isn't Phoenix in Arizona?
When you're not accounting for that, you really have a lot of cactus, especially at the time when I entered the industry. It had not done the boom, right? The growth. Amazon had not come to Arizona full force yet. And so you were talking about cactus. What am I getting in a statewide? And everybody goes, well, give me the whole state. I need the state. It's better than a county. It's not. And so then the nationwide, right? Let's do the nationwide. Same problem. There's no requirement for anybody to report to that level. That is a report that's compiled by private industry.
Interesting.
Who then sells it to people like me.
So you have to know how to collect it. Like you have to know that you don't just
where's the hole?
Yeah, where's the hole? Fascinating. Okay, that is bam, sold. I'm buying.
Experts.
I am buying it now.
Years of experience, right? That's why I did it. Is I've been you. I understand the problem. On top of that, right now we're running 24-hour turnaround times.
Okay, perfect. All right.
So I mean, it's crazy.
All right, so we still have a few minutes here. We've spent a lot of time talking about the background checking business, but you mentioned Arizona.
I did.
I know you were there in August, right?
I was.
So
Well,
let's hear about
September.
that. Okay.
So
September.
August, my mom passed. Most people know this. It was a time where I slowed down. I had been really just climbing, right? I don't know if you remember last summer's algorithms, but I had like 30 something thousand views in one day for the first time. And I was, oh, what is that?
I remember.
And so it was really
there.
just, it was there, right? Everybody was having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had life happen. And so I took some time away from LinkedIn, went home.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm in Arizona, my major client passes away.
Mm.
The guy who I've been servicing in that area forever is just gone, no warning. And they're telling me I have 60 days before we're closed.
Mm.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the layoffs, right? It feels the same.
Yeah.
It's a layoff with a date, not an immediate termination. And so it was definitely hard, but me being the person I am, I put a network together. Let me go ahead and dive in. I reached out. I went, who do I know? I called my buddy. His name is Brian. He runs a staffing firm in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Amazing. And I said, hey, let's do business. And do you know he said yes? Do you know he opened up his wallet and went, here, Melissa.
Well, I mean, what a vote of confidence. How did you even really react to that? Like, how did that even go down for you? I mean, it must have just been.
It was like 3 phone calls and an email of a contract. Wow. And then within a month, I'm getting champagne to celebrate with him about the launch. And within a month or two after that, we have 50 years of experience. We're live. We're billing thousands right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Wow. And we're doing it better than some of the others because look at who we found that they didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So let's tie your coaching business into that story, please.
Okay. So with coaching, the reality is it's all about mindset. I always say that. But what does that mean, right? How do you set your mind to be successful? Because if it starts here, then what? Well, I think a lot of it is documentation. Once you know, first you got to do research. Like, what do you want to do? Do you know what you want to do? I knew I didn't want another boss that was just a client. I wanted in. I wanted to be part of a business. And I wanted to be in charge. And so my boss only gets a vote. He doesn't get the final say. That's really cool. I wrote that down. So when he asked me, what are your non-negotiables? This is it. And so research, decide internally, externally, what do you want in life? Document it, act on it. That's it. That's it. Because you're going to do anything you put your mind to or anything you don't.
Yeah.
You're going to haphazardly go through your day like a pinball game, or you're going to get really good and you're going to target and you're going to get the high score.
Yeah. So you basically took your advice, right?
I took my own advice. What kind of coach does that?
You coached yourself. You're so smart. You smarted yourself, right? I got a good story I got to tell one of these nights on the early, but that's awesome, right? That doesn't that's so hard to do, Melissa. I mean, it really is.
No, it really isn't. Once you decide what you want, you go get it. If you say, hey, I want pizza, I don't care if it's midnight, you're going to find pizza. Fair. But what are you putting your mind on, right? And I think we get distracted, and I think we move for other people's dreams a lot. The teacher, the parent, the boss. But how often do we do it for us?
Maybe
a little selfish, maybe. Yeah. I get a little selfish. I'm like, hey, what do I want? I got to enjoy the ride too. What the heck?
I hear you. Okay. Wow. That's a lot. All right. So congratulations on coaching yourself into the job, it sounds like, of your dreams with a clear and differentiated value point for staffing companies in Oklahoma or wherever for whatever, right? Awesome. All right. So now I did promise that I needed 1 minute of summary, and you had something that I kind of you warmed up to. So hit me with that again. It was really crisp and clear. So let's go.
Okay. So what you need in a good background check is to know what you're missing locally, to know what you're supposed to screen for your industry, to identify and tell somebody like me, additionally, what bothers you or has concerns, and then to make sure that it's compliant. Before doing a background check, please get written authorization from your applicant. It is supposed to be in writing, the same as a credit report being run. When you get the report back, before you deny John Smith his job, tell John what was on his report, the same as a credit report. He has the right to dispute anything that's inaccurate. And if you don't know these things, you should be talking to me right now. If you're
Well, there you
screening
go.
and you don't already know that, please. But then there's also the adverse action letters. The same way that if you apply for credit and get denied, you get a letter telling you why in the report. You should get the same kind of process for background screening. If you're not getting that, you should be looking for that. HR people should be doing it or you're going to get sued.
Okay. Well, there you go. That was fast, clear, and helpful. So, Melissa, I want to say thank you for coming on to the show on Valentine's Day. I hope that you know, it's been a good one for you. I've certainly learned a lot about your business acumen and how things have come together and the clarity of your message. So, with that, everybody, we are going to sign off because my commitment to this audience is that we're going to be done in 16 minutes, right? So here we go. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great one.